Hello everybody and welcome to part 26 of my God King Boudicca series. Nothing really to comment on or to correct, so we're just going to put our focus here and pass the turn. Okay. He wants a piece of Utique. Alright. May purchase with faith. And Ramsey just grew this turn as we anticipated, so go to here, and of course we'll lock in the tile where we want it. City connection. Established. Oh, that's a correction, I suppose. We never bought this tile. Waiting until the border grows once will make your tile purchases a little cheaper. However, the borders are growing, as fast, if not faster than that. So, Ramsey grows. Yeah, we just addressed that. Cork loves the king, and Berlin loves the king. Horses to Pachacuti ended. Anteater and Japan no longer allies, losing grasp on Monaco. That's culture, and Monaco seeks a great profit, which probably won't be us. Although that does bear pointing out, one of the things I had considered is if we settle here and then settle here, rather than building settlers so that we have more places to plant our faith buildings, when we settle the Sildiver, we could have generated a profit and brought it over there. So let's see where Monaco is. He's way over there. Great profit. Yeah, it wouldn't be in time to be anything meaningful. So I don't think that's worth entertaining. I'd rather have the plan that we already talked about. In fact, one of the things I forgot to mention about the plan that we talked about is by settling this city here, if you count it out, it's 13 tiles away from this city. So this city will flip faster, and the whole reason we're planting cities is so that they'll flip right away so we have more places to set our faith bought buildings. Alright. Speaking of spamming settlers, let's get to it. This one will be our backyard. The next one will be Utique replacement. The third one will be silver. And whatever ones come after that will be optional ones. Do keep in mind that we'll be revealing aluminum shortly. And then after radio, we'll probably go into industrialization, find the coal so that we can buy a factory in the capital, since the capital is going to be probably working on Eiffel Tower. So, still no signs of boats here. That's sad. What about over here? Yep, that's the one we were anticipating. Alright, so he's a double tapper. He's way close to getting his range promotion, so let's go ahead and give him the 2 shots. And that means this guy can come here, start hopping on the road. We're probably done with the Great General, but we can wait a turn and find out, I suppose. We'll have him come forward. I guess it's safe for him to jump in the water. Okay. So there's that and that. Let's see. 2 settlers. Cool. Well, I mean, that means when, that's interesting, because that means that when we do pounce on Germany, assuming we do, we'll get 2 workers, and we just gave up 3 because of the city-state rep, so he's doing the road, I guess technically from Berlin over to the new city. This worker was coming to Denmark. We'll just stay along the road. He's paving the way for the Great General, who's going to get in the way of that worker, but not really, because what we would have that worker do, Penzance grows in 5, is we'd have this great worker. We'd have this worker come down here, so yeah, he's not actually getting in the way here. Although if he was, we would have just backed him off, because we don't need the Great General over here right this second. Let's see. I think Douglas, right? Yeah, Douglas is about to grow in 1. Might pick up a freshwater tile, so we'll have him hop on the road. There's an unfinished farm here. We kind of have a bit of a project drought, so that's that. Let's see here. Alright, so we're having the 2 musket men hop here. He's got double cover. He does not. So with the one that does not, we'll put him up on the hill. And that way, if they focus fire this guy, he's got double cover. If they focus fire this guy, he's on a hill and has altitude training. Alright, we see a horseman. Let's see. So, I like the fact that this guy is exposed. So let's go do that, because this guy has range. And that means our only other option is to step this guy forward and shoot at that bolt. So he heals, and that's our cue to go into Utique. Sell again. Alright, sorry for the delay there. And Great General can now come here and pretty much cover everybody we need to. So that's good. He's chilling. He's chilling. This guy's about to leave this hex, though. Well, this is also the moment of truth as far as Churro, so we might not even need him there. So let's see. Peek over here. I guess this is where we want our eyes, right? See what happens with that bow. The bow probably is going to run away. He can't take Utique by himself now. He does not run away. Interesting. We're just telling everybody off at this point, with the exception of maybe the Inca. Ooh, this is interesting. I'll get back to this. I see a very awesome opportunity. Alright, Ramsey's borders grow, so we'll do this. Growth in 6, growth in 5. So yeah, we'll definitely have that 4th pop for the library. Aberist with grows. And we're down to production tiles, although in a few turns we're going to pick up this tile, which is freshwater. Oh, nice. Okay, so he can come up over here, pre-build here, because 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Alright. Anyways, with regards to the... Let's move this over here. And then that way, Aberist With can have that tile borrow the tile for the time being. We want Cork to grow higher, taller, whatever, because the jungle tiles, but for now they can share, get them both up. Alright, what else? Douglas grows. Okay, so that's not a tile we wanted. We could still have him come down and just finish his farm up. I think the more tiles you have developed in a city, the greater their caravans are. So, hey, we won the roll. Awesome. That means this guy no longer needs to dance at all. He just needs to keep our cover on this tile specifically, which we would ideally want to do from this hex. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could have had the worker come here, chop that down so that he could be on the road and still see this tile. So, oh wait, no, we couldn't because he's here. All right, so yeah, I totally meant that, right? He's just taking a break there so he can get to this tile so that this guy can actually be on the road. And that way, if we need him later, yeah, okay. All right, so we are amid a golden age, so we'll totally have this guy prolong that another 8 turns. It would be nice if we had great works of art slot, but we don't, so that's just the way it is. And enemy is near. Yes, we know. We will deal with him. Alright, we don't have the pop to cover that tile yet, so, oh yeah, I just started him. That's why it's red instead of blue. Alright, 3 more workers to address here. That cuts that down by half. Okay, so 2 turns there. And we did buy the hill, about to grow, so we'll pick that tile up. Plus 2 hammers, nice. Some, is this road finished? Yes, so we picked up horses. He'll zoom ahead, assuming it's safe. I think that is Zanzibar. Yeah, he's just been sitting there, so... I mean, it's kind of nice, right? Because there's a little pocket back here that we can't cover that he is, so no barb camps there. So I'm fine with him vacationing there. That's okay with me. I do not mind. Alright, so that's everybody there. Before I forget, let's just check in on him. Still no money. He's quite in the deficit. And we do have copper we can sell, so get in on this action here. Yeah, he's still giving us 5, so that's good. That's good. That's more of a reason to sell off the boutique assets. Okay, Truro is a circus city, will not be 12 pop, so we can go straight into public school there. Nantes is not a circus city, will be 10 pop by the time we can finish the zoo, so we got to do that. We want to continue fully managing our local happiness, which I think is a good idea. Zoo is finished in Glasgow, so we are ready for public school here. Aqueduct done in Cork. Going to the workshop. Alright. So we had a couple of musketmen pop out here. Let's go get him his altitude training and then head back. We're going to have a stream of civilians running through here, so I kind of want to be able to occupy these road tiles so that the Japanese scout can't get in our way. Unfortunately, as seen here, we can't quite get there in time. But since he's on the road here, maybe he ends up here. So that would be out of our way. And we do have plenty of units here to choose from as far as that goes. So we'll go ahead and... 1, 2. I was going to do a caterpillar thing, but the problem is if we land him here for visibility and then a military unit is in our way, we're not going to be able to get in the water. So we're going to have to forego visibility for the time being. Alright, he's done with this road tile, so we're going to pre-build road interrupt because it's going to take him 2 turns to go from here to here, and that pre-build makes the loss of half a turn useful, so especially since this is an active project right now. Unfortunately, moving him away means we lose our visibility here, so this guy now must retreat, which means this guy now must retreat. I'm glad I noticed that. We'll get started on that. Great General cannot come over yet because this guy's in the way, so our target is here. Chop that down. In fact, now that this tile is no longer occupied, I kind of want to occupy it for myself, because we could just chop all this down, and that way we have full access to all of his stuff. Let's see here, in 2 turns. Alright, so we're going to be on the lookout for Penzance to our house to end, because if you remember, we counted out 4 turns is what this guy needs to kind of come be in position or whatever. So in the meantime, we can have this dance on the lookout for Carthaginian boats. But after that, we're going to want to pull everybody back. So that's in 2 turns. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Great General can now move forward unabated, and that brings us to this. Alright, let's have him cross the river. We're antagonizing this guy now. Have him come here. This is iffy, right? And he has a horseman here. So we need to try to figure out a way to leave this guy barren. I'd rather not pillage the copper, especially since we're about to lose our only worker over here. So I'll have this guy step here. We don't want him to pillage this turn, because he would be at full health, and he would no longer be a lightning rod, and we're about to start stepping our guys forward. We'll move him here. Well, crap. This is one with range. Alright. If I move him here, he's exposed to the knight coming through. No, because moving here is only controlled. Okay. Alright, so we'll step him forward. He hits the city because that's his only target. We step him forward. He can hit this unit, which is nice. And then we step him forward. He can hit that. So let's see here. This guy's really close to getting a promotion, which is nice because we can step here and still reach the city tile. And if he had range, he could step here. And that makes everything easier, because otherwise we're going to have an awkward turn where one of these guys has to get up on the hill just so they both can reach the city. Alright, so let's see. Wait. Might as well pre-build a road. If our plan is to have a city here and have it all connected, and we want the worker to wait there, might as well pre-build a road, right? So there's that. Alright, I'm glad to see the 2 settlers are still in this general vicinity. That means these 2 guys can continue to block them. I don't see what the alternative is, but... Well, I suppose if he got open borders with Portugal, he could come through here and around us. That would be very roundabout, but we have some units that we just generated, so maybe we get some help over there. Alright. So we have a couple of farms in Truro we're not even using. We don't need this guy in Truro anymore. We didn't pick up the hill, which would have been the only reason for him to stick around, since we don't know where aluminum or coal is yet. Let's see, 4 turns until the hill. Okay, that's a hill, right? And 4 turns. So he needs to step over, chop that down, make sure we pick up this hill rather than the possibility of picking this. This is useless to us. These hills are pretty handy, potentially. So this says 4 turns until hill. If we move him here, then 2, 4, 6, it'll say 3. 2, 3, it'll say 2. Step up here, it'll say 1. And then we get in and our borders can start same turn. So that's what we want to do with that guy. Okay. Alright, that makes sense to me. Where was this going, first of all? We're not, okay, it was going to Zanzibar, but that's not good enough. We're in a sticky situation here because we're actively planning to go to war with pretty much anybody near us. So we're going to have to take inferior trade routes for the moment. Yeah, anything that says another civ we kind of have to skip for the moment. Once we make peace with Carthage, that'll become an option. But we'll only have access to Kwapang, which has to go through Denmark, so even that's not true. So pretend I didn't say that. Iffy is 6.9, and Quebec City is 6.6. Quebec City is our ally, so it's a safer route. And we do have another one that's about to end. 6 turns. 9 turns until Great Scientist, which means 9 turns until we start, or 9 or 10 turns. 12, no, 17. 9 plus 8 is 17. So yeah, 9 turns till we start Eiffel Tower. So we might actually want the next caravan that ends to be a production route to Edinburgh, which means we can come here. Actually, this says 7. I'm assuming it's rounding up. 1 6.6, 1 6.9. This is a safer route in the event that, because we are going to be at active war for a while, the fact that if he's in our backyard could be a problem. So let's just play it safe and send it to Quebec City. It's 0.3 gold per turn, which in the grand scheme of things is negligible. And for all I know, it actually rounds up every time anyways. So, anyways, we can move the Great General forward, cover everybody but this guy, but he's kind of doing his own thing anyways. Heal up 1 more turn, that's our signal to sell. And this is the end of this turn, presumably. Do you have money? No? How many horses do we have to trade?
Oh,
3. Okay, so it's not quite the end of the road. He only has 5 gold. This guy has more. So let's sell him to him. He's also further, well, technically he's further away from us because we were planning on forward settling Pakal at some point. So, I don't know if you can call it that, but what was this in regards to, I wonder? Silk City is the only one we've planted recently, and is that where he was planning on sending those settlers or something? Sorry, my dear, we are not done with you. Ooh. Okay. Killed a Portuguese spy, killed a German spy. Nice. We're going to tell them both off because we do plan on going to war to both of them, I think, right? Alright, so that's a preamble for denouncing them, which is nice. Alright, so there we go. We grew to the hill. There we go. So there's that for now, just for now. We're about to pick up the silk tile, so we'll go there for the gold. Demand silver. Fantastic. We have a grand plan to do that. Next turn we'll be able to buy a mosque here, expedite the border growth for subsequent. Quebec City searches for science. Nice. We're totally on top of that. So, unfortunately, that's going to take a while to kick in. Oh, it'll take 30 turns and we'll still have them. So, yay, Quebec City is safe. No longer friends with Monaco. It's a loss of culture. I may have said Monaco, but I did not mean to. Alright, we'll finish with the farm here. But we don't want the farm here. We want to chop this up so that this guy can come here forever. Nice. Okay, Japanese scout sitting in the water. Well, let's finish all of our prompts. First, Musketman's done in Dublin. This is a circus city, however, the zoo would not be done. The zoo would be done too soon, so we can go into public school there. Settler that just spit out is backyard. Backyard? Yeah, backyard. So now we build Utique. And I'll just go ahead and name him backyard so that, I mean, he's going to settle pretty quick, so I don't think there's going to be any room for confusion, but he wants to zoom ahead as far as possible. He already has his altitude training. 2, 4, 6. So either of these units cannot reach the tiles we need to. So for this turn, we need these 3 military to... He's heading to Denmark, so it's the most important that he's as far over as possible. He's getting his altitude training, so he's second most important. And then there we go. And we'll take the Great General up north, because the one that's over in Carthage is going to get planted, so that military, as they retreat, wherever they end up distributing, will need some coverage. He needs to get his altitude training. He's going somewhere. We want him to follow melee wherever he goes, so... Okay, so there's that, and there's that. Playing Caterpillar. Nice. Yeah, he's just holding that hex for the time being. Luckily we get... This is the most important one, so I'm glad they didn't find a way to infiltrate that one, since we are over here. We're going to hold that tile for the time being. There's the caravan. So, no boats here. We're going to start our retreat. We'll come like this. Maintain visibility. I'll keep him along the shore. Just in case a boat shows up, we can take our last shot. We'll take some visibility here. I guess he's not doing anything effective as far as visibility. Okay. So there's that. There's that. He's here for now. He's dancing. Alright. This guy is going to Avarice with, right? For those new freshwater tiles. So we'll get him on the road there. This guy, we don't know. Cardiff's going to grow in 2 turns. Onto the tile that Japan's actually like submerged in. So that's funny. We're going to chop there. He's coming over here. So we don't know what this guy's doing, right? We know we have a vacuum here, but one that's not going to come into play anytime soon. Ren grows in 2. Alright, so the fact that this worker is captured leaves us in a sticky situation. We no longer have a war worker. Luckily we have enough melee nearby that as long as we can kind of play melee roulette, like this guy right now could pillage, step, he'll be the red lightning rod still, pillage, get out of the way, and then we're left with 3 more melee. And that should be fine. So let's do that. And somebody's got to attack this guy too, so there's that to consider as well. Probably this guy, right? Or we just shoot him down. Let's find out. He's the one that needs range. So technically he's very close to it too. 3 more shots. Oh, it doesn't look like it's going to be enough though. So step here. Step here. Smoked him. Crap. Okay. How much XP does he have? Okay, so we definitely need him to get range. Man. We want a melee to take damage. We'll return the unit. He gets ejected out here, which I believe Quebec City's stuck back here too. So there's that. So now he's out of opportunities for XP, unfortunately. Well, unless she releases a boat. So it's just weird because we're not going to get full double taps out of everybody next turn, which if he had range, we totally could. Now the Great General can step to here, and we have 2 that are damaged. And these guys, I don't know. We'll figure something out. We're just basically playing because we don't have workers back here, and I don't know if we can afford to, right? He comes here to get out of this way, his way, and now these two could build roads where they're at, and then he comes here, build a road. He comes here, build a road, or here, whichever, don't matter. And that way, when the settler comes through, he can like settle as quickly as possible. Says 3 turns. Maybe when we chop, it goes down to 1 next turn. Let's assume that's the case. So in 2 turns he comes out. 1, 2, 4, 6. That's 2 turns from now. 2, 4, 3 turns from now. 2, 4, 4 turns from now. 2, 4, 5 turns from now. 2, 4, 6 turns from now. He literally lands 1 hex, so we really do want this road to be all connected. And 6 turns from now, so 1, 2, 3, 4. He doesn't have enough time to do it by himself, so we do need these guys, which means we're not going to have a war worker. Alright, that's unfortunate. Anyways, he's full health. Let's get him out of here. We can protect the visibility, whatever, something like that. And there's the last of our cells. So we can pretty much ignore Utique until it's 1 pop and then just time it to where we hold on to it until just before we're about to settle our own replacement. Alright, now friends with Iffy. That's nice as far as the faith gain, but doesn't help us in terms of like happiness or not having to worry about them attacking us. We'll bring the Great General down here. He's influencing our front line as well as some of the things that we might be doing down here. Yes, so this will be the production route to Edinburgh. And Truro is the shortest path, so let's reposition that to Truro, and we will not send that off until the Eiffel Tower begins. Because we don't know how long it's going to go, and we definitely don't need the hammers helping the settlers, because we already have too much time for the settlers we have actual plans for. Alright, so he's coming over to... Whoops, whoops, whoops. What happened? Oh! Oh, okay. He didn't actually have to stop here, right? He can't zoom. Alright, I don't know why I stopped there. And unfortunately that doesn't change anything else. He only has 1 hex, he's in the way, so we already timed that out, right? He's the one that needs altitude training, so he's more forward. Okay, got it. Alright, we definitely want to keep track of where the settlers go. Make sure they stay within our sphere of influence. And we didn't know where this guy wanted to go. This guy's chopping. We have a vacuum here and here, but nothing to do about it. We have some tiles we could repair here, pretty up Berlin with the quickness, you know. So, maybe he just, or alternatively, we technically have a weakness over here, but that will probably be resolved. Simply because if we're not pillaging, we don't have stuff to do over there with them. The new city we plant is going to be pretty much fully developed, and then if we're not pillaging a whole lot, like 1 worker could clean everything up. In theory. We'll have to take a look at how it goes. Alright, so he bangs that one, and that's something of a problem. Unit promotion. That guy, alright. 87, 91. It's kind of a sticky situation there. May purchase with faith. So we come down to Inverness, which luckily still has a majority, even though it's only 1 of 2. I'm thinking it's got to deal with the amount of pressure, right? Like maybe the second is already halfway finished, so it technically counts as a majority. I don't know how that works. But I'm thankful for it. I'll take it. Alright, may adopt policy. So we should have an ideology in 7 or 8 turns. The only reason I say or 8 is because it's the turn after you hit the modern era or complete 3 factories. Not same turn. So 8 turns. I gotta assume we're not gonna get another policy within then. So that means we only have 1 filler. If we had 2 fillers, I might actually take tradition into aristocracy for the builder wonder and for the global happiness, because we have multiple cities now that have 10 pop or more, and we're aiming for several more. So but since we only have the 1, I think let's go ahead and take the aesthetics opener. That contributes towards our win condition. And then after we get the happiness from ideology, we can come into here and evaluate upcoming session. Alright. There's a potential to lose some happiness, it looked like. Bucharest has declared war. Bucharest and Carthage no longer allies. They are allies. No longer friends with Bucharest, probably because they went to war with us. Antwerp no longer seeks investors. So we can go to Bucharest and make peace, right? Yeah. So we'll have the bonus culture for a couple turns there. So that should address all of that. Whoops. I'm going to do the workers first. Oh, maybe not. We'll say library. 19 turns. We set this here. 15 turns. So there's that. He's just going to pre-build that. We have this next turn, so he'll go here. He'll go here, and then we'll be done. We'll have another worker freed up. Alright. Penzance is finished, so there's that. 2 turns, which means he gets here when it says 1, gets started when it's gone. I like it. Chop, chop. You know, I suppose we could have another worker over here. So if we're chopping all this up and making a road stem, we don't really have time for all that, do we? Chop there, that's necessary. He's heading over here. We know that much. Problem is, especially with this guy here, a worker getting over here wouldn't do anything in time, I wouldn't think. We can leave him there indefinitely. This is backyard, so he's coming up here. This guy gets started now, finishes next turn, so backyard goes 2, 4, 5, and then next turn he can step settle. That's great. Do that. Have him dance. Alright. So everybody's red that has 1. Granary's done. On to market. 1 turn until border growth. It'd be really nice if we could pick up like one of these. Kind of like choke his progression here. It's really nice that he's pooling them like this. That'll make it easy. So I'm going to say chop interrupt, and we'll develop whatever planes we pick up if we pick up planes. Because as soon as we chop here, we lose our second tier druidic lore, which is not important at this point. I just point it out because that is a consideration. We want to develop hills for aluminum and coal, but you know, we also want that druidic lore. So yeah, I guess we can have him start heading towards Denmark. He doesn't have anything better to do. Again, I don't think we're going to get there in time. In fact, yeah, 2, 4, 5, and then he can start, which means he goes 1, 2, 3. He ends up here next turn, and he'll be in the area. So that's better than nothing. Border growth in 1, where Japan's camping, so that'll be interesting to see how that pans out. He's going to help in Denmark, and we only have 2 musketmen over there, so I think he should go help in Denmark as well. Now he has altitude training. He still needs altitude training, right? So let's have him zoom ahead, and we'll have these 2 be the blockers here and here. Right, you're waiting, and you're going up to who knows where. Maybe we'll help with this, I don't know. Worker is coming here, so we'll just pre-build a farm and erupt. Grab that next turn. Great General is fine right there. In fact, he steps here to make room for this guy, which is a little unfortunate because now we have a lot outside our borders that he can see. And I don't want to get prompted about that because the Inca are still relatively cool with us. Hey, he's got money. So what will you give me for that? 5? Sounds great. Why is he giving us such a good exchange rate if he sounds that angry with us? Okay, so we know these guys are just getting started on their respective roads, and then they'll fan back, or fan in their respective directions. So he'll come here for visibility and protection. And that leaves us with this situation, which is not an easy one. I'll have him come up here for visibility. So that's nice. Basically, if we keep these guys moving, they don't heal, which is good. He pillages here, and now he can move. Actually, that's a little too much, huh? 86, 87, maybe too much. So one of these guys, whichever gets hit, will pillage this tile. So what I should have done is have him move here and move back so he doesn't heal. For that reason, I'll move him here. I didn't want to, but if I had thought that through, could have kept it there better. We want to stay like here justified, not so much dangling out here. And we do have a situation where not everybody has range that would need it. So we'll have him step here. That way nobody can pop out there. And there's that, and oh, there's his range. Yeah, thanks. A little too late, but whatever. We'll get her done. Right, Great General chills right there. Alright, so not bad, not bad. Looks like maybe a 2-turn fall here. As long as they don't focus on one of our ranged, we should be good to proceed. And I guess at this point, even if they do, we'll probably still be a 2-turn fall. We just might have to slam a extra musketman or something. You know, I hadn't thought when I was talking about coastal vulnerability about her, but I'm pretty sure once we take Goa, like, she won't have a coastal city that can influence us, so that's not a problem. Anyways, we are past the half-hour mark, so I'm going to end this here. Thank you guys for joining me. I do hope you're enjoying the series thus far. Please leave me any comments regarding things I might be overlooking, some tips, maybe there's better directions we could be taking. Like and subscribe if you feel that I've earned it, and I will see you guys in the next part. Take care.